All right. We are live once again for the Thick Boys Fight Club, baby. I'm Nick Westervelt,
And I'm Ty Stewart.
and welcome again to our show. We're going to be going over the recap from UFC 250. Sorry, we're a little late this time, guys. It just got a little busy over the weekend, but we're here for you now. And we're going to get right into it. We're going to do some news as well as we'll kind of discuss a little bit of what happened in the recap, obviously. And we got a lot of news to talk about, which is going to be exciting. So,
Oh
let
yeah,
me.
I'm looking forward to this.
All right. I'll start with this. Let's break it down a little bit as we were discussing earlier today. We got Jorge Masvidal and John Jones are being little crybabies, in my opinion, about their pay. Um, both are now deciding and basically not going to fight anytime soon due to this. Um, what do you think, man? What's your little opinion on this
Well,
whole
I think
thing?
it's a little different for both of them.
True.
John Jones, I know you said that he's lucky to have a job, and to a certain extent he is, but we also have to recognize that he is the greatest of all time. If anyone
Okay.
should be paid anything close to Conor McGregor, it should be John Jones. In all realism, right? The guy's the baddest dude on the planet. Never lost a fight. He has fucked over the UFC once or twice, but if there's a guy who deserves the pay, that'd be my first pick.
uh,
Jorge, on the other hand, shut up, win the welterweight title, and then you can freaking renegotiate your contract. But like Westervelt here was telling me earlier, is that is the first fight. The last fight he won is the first fight on his contract, his new
correct.
contract.
So yeah,
This is not even a year old.
he's on. He just signed per Dana White. He just signed 6 months ago an 8 fight contract. So now he has 8 fights left. We're talking about Masvidal here, and he said it's very similar to John Jones as well. Actually, was his saying. But yeah, I mean, like I'm just saying, in my overall opinion, yeah, John Jones, bad motherfucker, huge draw, huge everything. I'm not gonna lie about that, obviously. But like you hit a pregnant woman and the company allowed you to come back. You goddamn get popped for taking steroids. Company allows you to come back. You literally 2 months ago are driving drunk in your car, shooting a gun out the window. The company allows you to come back. Like I you have to think, man. Like that, you have to kind of be like, wow, Dana White's a pretty cool guy. You need to just say fuck it.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. In my opinion, he should be acting like a company man. He should be like, whatever the UFC needs me to do, wants me to do, he should be raising his hand. He should be the first one to try his best to, because basically he's just putting a bad image out there because he's one of the biggest stars. You represent the UFC, you represent MMA, you're the greatest of all time. He should
100%.
be doing a better job and making it up to the UFC.
Well,
I don't know exactly what his numbers are that he's
my
asking
other
for,
thing
but
that I would be a little nervous if I was them is, and all of us too, like none of us have heard for say Coker come out from Bellator and literally say, I want these guys. Have you noticed that?
oh,
Hasn't
he's
nothing.
bro,
Nothing's been
he's
on.
yeah, you know what he's doing? He's licking his chops. He's in the background saying like,
We don't
"Look, if
know
you get
that
you out of
though.
your UFC."
We
Yeah,
don't know
we don't
that.
know it,
You
but
don't know
I
that.
can tell you, he is actively working to get those guys. There's
What
no
it,
way he's not.
what I can see him
It'd be
going after
bad business if
Masvidal.
he wasn't on.
Can you imagine though? Maybe he doesn't want Jones.
It's
It's possible. It's
possible,
one hundred
but
percent possible. Maybe he's going. I don't want the headache. Maybe he knows.
no, I think he would take him on just because
He might.
him versus Ryan Bader would be a huge fight for him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's they are all they are constantly actively trying to take the best fighter from the UFC that they possibly can.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way they're going to start to get recognition is if it would literally have to be a mass migration of fighters from the UFC to them, the high level ones.
Yeah.
So he's consistently trying to make it as competitive.
Yeah.
It's not
I'm just saying
successful
there
yet.
is a possibility. We don't know this, so I don't.
Right.
There's no real argument here. But I think that would just be funny if he was like, "Why the fuck do I want either one of these guys if they're just going to complain about pay?" It would be kind of funny. All
Yeah.
right, but yeah, so that's in that. Moving on here, guys. We're very excited about this. Me and Ty really are. Stipe has released that he says the time has come. So it's
About
time.
fucking time.
Him and DC can finally settle this once and for all. We can pull off the trilogy,
That's
which
right.
obviously is going to be a great fight for the UFC to put on right now during one of these coming up months. Um, that's really all I gotta say about
Yeah, just
that.
excited for that one,
That'll
man.
be
You're
a
gonna get
good
the
one,
two of the best heavyweights ever go toe to toe one more time for the trilogy. It's gonna be epic.
100%. All right. Little other thing I liked, Sugar Sean today is talking a lot of shit. Um, talking a lot of shit to Triple C. Gotta love that. Told him, basically that's what he feels. Feel like Triple C is kind of in this funk because this is his first girlfriend, and obviously that's kind of protecting him.
Yeah, I would just tell freaking him that he just needs to shut up, man. It's like you're talking about the greatest 125, 35 pounder to live. Got Sugar Sean O'Malley, congratulations on your win. I am new to the Sugar Show, and I'm excited to witness it now. You know,
Well, there we
you
go.
proved me wrong, but at the same time,
Don't worry, we'll talk
this
about
guy
that
can't.
later.
Yeah, he just can't even talk about. He can't talk about Henry Cejudo. You
Well,
don't even try to put your name in the same sentence as that guy.
well, he called out Cody Garbrandt also this afternoon. So we'll see if that kind of transpires. I think that might be a next great fight. A little risky for Sean, I would say, being so young. You kind of not really looking for an L right now, or a really, I mean, you kind of need to keep the momentum going, in my opinion. But we'll see where that comes out to. And then next up, I'm sure as we've all heard, Conor McGregor has decided to retire once again. I'm not too sure that's extremely reliable, or not maybe reliable, confident news that that's true. I think I'm a huge Conor McGregor fan. I will show you guys the signed autograph picture I have of him right here. Even I'm getting a little tired of this. Things don't go your way, so you just quit.
Yeah, like
Kind of
Justin
a
Gaethje
bitch
said,
move.
he's probably just on another bender, and good thing all the old people are locked up inside,
Oh
so
my
he
God.
can't hit nobody.
Come on
Bro,
now.
the guy,
Come
there's a
on
guy you're
now.
talking, hey, man, there's the guy you talk about representing the UFC, doing fucked up shit, and still having a job. That's Conor McGregor right there. Punches an old man at the bar, throws a freaking thing, shatters glass into the guy's eye, freaks out everybody on the bus. This guy is not a role model of what the UFC wants. He just sells tickets.
I
So you
love it.
can't. I know, but you
I don't
can't.
care if he's a role
It's your
matter.
double. Hey,
I
man,
loved
it's your
every
double
minute of it.
standard. Look, it's your double standard. If you say that he can get paid that much, that means John Jones can get paid that much because he's fucking up just as much, and he still puts seats in the arena as well. Maybe
Very
not at the
true.
same level, but he still does it.
You have a point, but John Jones.
Because I don't know what's worse. I probably would say the slight edge to John Jones hitting the pregnant woman in the car and running away, but falsing an old man in an Irish pub because he won't drink your whiskey is pretty bad too.
We weren't there, so we don't know that was the whole story. We don't know.
Okay, an old man talks shit to you and you punched him in the face as a professional fighter. There's no excuse. You cannot come up with a legitimate excuse for
Hey,
Conor McGregor to punch an old man.
we've all been in a bar before, and some crazy shit's happened.
Oh
Shit
man.
happens. Moving on, guys. In breaking news tonight, I'm excited about this one, and it was so funny because Ty here and I were literally having this conversation earlier today while we were working out together. Max Holloway versus Volkanovski is being scheduled as we speak for July 11th. So we might finally have a main event for the pay-per-view. Reading more into it, it looks like they're trying to do 3 title defenses that night, actually. So that will be badass. So this fight card in the first Fight Island fight card could be amazing. They're talking about Kamaru Usman fighting as well. Obviously, Max Holloway. And I believe with the women's, they were talking about having that fight. So could be
That'll be epic.
This card could be shaping up amazingly. I mean, I know we already have Rose Namajunas versus
Jessica Andrade.
Andrade.
I'm very much looking forward to that fight.
So, I mean, this could end up, maybe we're finally coming to what could be the best card of the year, possibly. Haven't really had one of those yet. So, yeah, that's for what I got for news for you guys. That's breaking as a Monday night right now. So, very good. Very good. But let's get into the breakdown now of UFC 250 for you guys.
the first one was like we were just talking about, was Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Eddie Wineland. Nick took Sugar Sean and was correct. The guy, put Wineland to sleep in the first round, probably, a minute and a half in.
Was it the
Very
first
impressive
round? Was it
victory.
a first round or second round?
I thought it was a first round knockout. I'm
All
pretty
right.
sure it was a first round knockout.
Okay.
I
Oh yeah.
yeah, I don't yeah,
I think you're
it
right. I think
definitely
Cody Garbrandt was second round.
yeah, he was at the end of this, but
So I just
beyond.
want to put it out there. So Ty looked at me during this fight and said, "I can't wait to talk shit to you on the show and be able to be like, I told you I was right." Well, guess you got to eat your words there, huh?
Oh, 100%. The guy, like I said, I got welcome to the sugar show. I was wrong. The guy did what he said he was going to do. I was thoroughly impressed. Um, he beat a savvy veteran and proves that he deserves some top tier competition.
Oh,
No doubt.
and
How far he goes, I'm still not sold that he's the next, you know, champ of the 135-pound division. That's going to come with time. I need to see more actual time in the ring, but no doubt he's an impressive young up and coming prospect. No doubt.
well, I liked what he did today. Today he won the match. He hadn't been talking any shit yet, but today he's come out and he's really starting to talk some shit. So he's playing the game right now. He's trying to get the buzz created. I mean, calling out Cody Garbrandt, basically called out anyone who wanted to fight. So good for him. He's gonna put the sugar show on. We'll just kind of see where he goes. Obviously, we'll see what's going to happen in that division from this weekend. This is
Oh yeah, this was a very exciting night for the bantamweight division.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up though we had
Yeah, the Neil Magny versus Anthony Rocco Martin, and that one we both got correct.
excellent fight. Magny put on a good show. This one though did come with controversy in our opinion. Once again, I hate that we have to bring this up every single time we talk about a recap of a show, but the judging once again was shit. That fight, I was nervous. I said we were 1-1 going into the third. I truly thought that. Then the judges call out their scorecards, and we have 30-27s. I think 2 times. Am I right? Or was it
I
just
believe
one?
2 judges, or at
2
least we know it
judges,
for sure. At
one.
least one said 30-27 Neil Magny, which is a joke. That's an
Yeah.
absolute joke. You can
I mean,
make it 29-28, like some of the judges did. That I could agree with, but definitely, there's no doubt that Rocco Martin won a round.
100%. There's no doubt he didn't win a round. I mean, you had to give it to him. First round was extremely close as well, in all
Yep,
honesty.
it could have gone. Yeah, the first round was the one I thought Martin won. Maybe I missed something during the second round because a lot of people said that was the round that Martin won. So if I just missed something in the first round, that means Rocco, in my opinion, should have probably won that fight. I'm happy that Magny won because that's who we put the money down on, and that's what we said was going to win.
Oh, no, we called that one down. But, yeah, I mean, we were a few white claws in at that moment. So.
Yeah, exactly. And something Neil Magny has to do moving forward is he's really got to work on just being more impressive with his strikes. I get it. His style is to wear people down, be conservative, but at the same time, you have to put a little bit more power in those punches, and you just have to be a little bit more aggressive because you're leaving those rounds way too close to call. That he's just lucky that the judges called it his way because it easily could have gone the other.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. Next up.
We had Aljamain Sterling versus Corey Sandhagen. This is the one that Nick and I called would be the fight of the night. We both took Corey Sandhagen in this and got it wrong. But we also did say, these are the 2 up-and-coming premier prospects, and it could go either way. Sterling happened to come out on top with a very impressive submission win in the first round.
Yeah, it wasn't the exciting fight we were all thinking it might be. It was still very exciting, don't get me wrong. We called it, it's like we said, it's going to be a 50-50 shot. Didn't go our way this time. Aljamain got it done. I mean, brutal neck choke. Brutal choke. So tight.
Yeah, he worked that rear naked choke
it.
beautifully. He baited out the one hand and then just slipped the other one in. It did take him a little while, but he got the job done. Very impressive.
Very impressively. All right.
Yeah.
Next up was I think Cody Garbrandt.
But wait, before we move on to the next one, we should say that Aljamain Sterling is most likely going to be the first contender for the winner of the Peter Yan versus Jose Aldo title defense.
Excellent.
Which should be a good comp. I don't know who's going to win that one, but Aljamain, it'll be exciting either way, whoever he fights.
And that's the fight. I'm sorry, that is the third title fight they're actually talking about for Fight Island, possibly.
Ooh, Yeah, it sounded like a super card to me.
Yep.
Yeah, but the next one was Rafael Sunsao versus Cody Garbrandt.
Woo! And
Nasty.
my God, my God, did Cody Garbrandt set that up so well? The stars aligned. I mean, that dip and that little sudden fade to make him turn his head like that. That guy's chin was wide open, and Cody swung with every single thing he had. I mean, that poor guy was so concussed, he couldn't even sit on the stool after the fight. I mean,
Y-
literally fell off the stool.
Yeah, they had to pull the stool out. They're trying to get him to sit down. He wouldn't sit down. Look, that was probably one of the most impressive victories of Cody Garbrandt's career, given not against the most elite of the division, some guy that is past his prime without a doubt. But damn, he looked faster than he's ever looked. His boxing was just picture perfect, on point. And like Nick said, he just set up a Sunsao with that little dip, and he was so quick. Did you see that when he's throwing that hook to hit Cody Garbrandt as he's coming up, but he's already completely erect, and his hand is only hitting him in the chest then. That's
Oh,
how
I
quick he
know.
was.
I know.
And then he just dropped him with that beautiful hook. And
It was amazing.
whew,
Great knockout. Also, super good for Cody Garbrandt. Back in the win column. He's ready to go, folks.
no
Mark
doubt.
my
And
words. He will be a
th-
champion again.
yeah, and
100%.
it's really tough because Sterling will probably get the next title shot, is what I would assume, because Cody Garbrandt has already lost for the title twice, and he
Mm-hmm.
probably needs one more win in the win column because still you're one out of the past 4 fights.
Well, that's what
Um,
should go down, but we'll see what happens. You never know. The way that
yeah,
things
you never
break
know.
down, people not around, it just happen. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah, but if anything, like you said, I believe it was Sean O'Malley was talking about possibly fighting Cody Garbrandt. That'd be a great stylistic matchup. You have the tall, lanky, very knockout power versus the speed and the quickness of Cody Garbrandt. That'd actually be a really great fight to watch, I think.
It would be. I just don't know if the UFC will do that one. Obviously, they want us to have our favorites, and they know that those two guys are favorites. Might be kind of a hard one for the fans to pick.
Yep, that's true. Uh, it's just something they talked about. It'd be a good fight. It will. You would hope it will eventually happen. I just like to see it sooner rather than later. While
I
Cody
would too.
Garbrandt is looking as sharp as he is.
Exactly. And last but not least, guys, that's it. We don't even need to talk about the fight. Actually, nah, I'm just kidding. Amanda Nunes.
It was just like
Dominating
our breakdown.
fashion.
Jesus, yeah, just like we said, it's like, what is there really to discuss? We all saw what was going to happen. Worked her. The only thing we didn't get was a finish.
Yeah.
But how did you feel, Nick? Did you think that maybe the coaches should have thrown in the towel at some point? Because there's a lot of calls for that.
I mean, Dana White said going into the 5th round that he was praying that someone was going to just call the fight off. I mean, it's a hard thing, right? Your fighter wants to fight, but at the same time, like you told me, sometimes you need to know better and throw the towel in so the fighter can fight a fight another day without having to take the damage for no reason. And yeah, there's something to say for that. When you're getting beat like that going into the 4th, was there any reason to continue on? There really wasn't. We all knew nothing could happen. I mean, is there a chance she could have gotten some crazy lucky knockout at the end? I guess you could say there's a possibility. There's always a slim chance, but it didn't seem like it was going to happen. Which, this is where I also think another thing about scoring would really come into play here, where they should be showing the live scores, I think, in between rounds. Maybe if her corner would have saw where they were at that moment, she wouldn't have had to take more abuse. You know what I mean?
Um, I've heard this whole scoring format idea before. I'm personally not sold on the idea because it's just going to lead to more stalling in fights when someone knows they've won 2 rounds. It's like they're not going to risk themselves at all.
Yeah.
Whereas if they don't know if they won it, and it was a close round, they know they have to win that 3rd round. But if they knew they had won the first 2, they might just coast and we'll get a more lackluster fights. What we perceive as close, but if they know for sure they're winning, they're not going to take the
Yeah,
chances that
well,
we would see.
it's a total double-edged sword. You're gonna have that, but you're also gonna have. Can you imagine the great fights though you'll also get when it's 1-1?
Yeah, I
you'll
prefer them
get
just not knowing. I
yeah.
prefer it. To me, it's like just if they don't know and they perceive it as a close fight and nobody knows who's winning, then they both go out and take a chance rather than just the one person who knows they're down.
Yeah, well, maybe then they should at least do something. Maybe in this situation, literally when all judges know that we're in the fourth round and it's like where we would have been at that point. We would have been at 43.
I don't think Spencer's corner needed a judge to
And
tell them they had lost 4 rounds.
yeah,
If
I
they
mean, you
didn't
would
know,
hope
then they
not.
aren't good coaches.
You would
It's
have
like
hoped they
they
don't
should
need.
know.
But you know what I'm
But
saying? Maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe the UFC needs to stand in and be like, "Hey guys, what is the point of this continuing on anymore?"
well, that's what Herb Dean did try to stop that fight. He gave Spencer an opportunity to get out through a medical reason with the can you see right now? And
Yeah,
kind of, do you want to continue? It was a question he was leaving open for her to make that decision herself. Of course, she's going to say yes, she's going to fight.
yeah,
But I'm in complete agree with Nick. It's like, please throw in the towel. I'm for fighters going 5 rounds or going the distance with
well,
and getting beaten up if they're learning something from the experience. It's
there was no
bringing them to
learning.
that next
Yeah,
level. At a point you saw there is no level. And when you said, "Oh, maybe she could have knocked her out," but we knew she wasn't going to. She literally was not putting forward any offense. She was
yeah,
strictly there to survive. And I was telling one of our friends, best case scenario for Spencer is she gets some more scarring, some more bruising. Worst case scenario, she gets knocked out and has a concussion, and that's going to shorten her fight career.
yep,
You know what I mean? There was
yep.
really no winning for her in this scenario.
There
It'd be
wasn't
better
none.
to be a technical knockout.
Yep. But it also kind of goes to show you on that with this whole Amanda Nunes going on right now. I mean, who do you have her fight? There's no one.
Gabby Garcia is the only person I can think, and that's a super fight because that girl weighs like 200 pounds or something, apparently.
Yeah, so that ain't gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, there's just no one to have her fight in the UFC. As they asked, I mean, Megan Anderson comes forward today and says, "I'm still here." Bitch, she gonna knock you the fuck out. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, you couldn't, I mean, you got lucky on so many occasions. I mean, you should have lost against Kat Zingano, honestly, but you poked her in the eye with your toe and got a bullshit win. Then she lost her other two. Am I correct on this? I'm sure some of those. I mean,
I'd
I'm
have to
wrong
look
or
it up
right,
on. I don't have
but
that
I'm
up
pretty
right now.
sure. I know she won her last one, but I mean, like, there's nothing there. And then even like Dana said, "What do you want me to have her fight Shevchenko again? She's already beat the bitch twice. What more do
Yeah,
we really want? Like, there's nothing there. There isn't."
yeah, absolutely. I agree. What I think she should do, it would be best for her financially and also just for her career, is she should give up the 120. It's the 135-pound belt. Let that produce a contender by having a new champion. Maybe she defends it once or twice, and then
Yeah.
she can move up to fight Amanda Nunes at 145. But by her dominating both divisions, she's literally making herself less marketable.
Wait,
We're
do you
not going to
mean?
see.
Sorry, what you said was kind of confusing though. You want Shevchenko to give up the belt and move
No,
up
no,
to?
no, no. I want Amanda Nunes to give up the 135-pound belt, stay
Okay,
at 145 pounds,
gotcha.
just mop that division up, while the 135-pound division produces
Yeah,
possibly a contender for her
she
that she
should
can
take
then
one.
drop down later and take it
Yeah,
back. You know what
well,
I mean?
no, she should take one for the team and just allow the 135 division to develop into something. Because if
Oh,
she,
100%. But that's also best for her career is that by
I
allowing a
don't think
new
it
champ.
matters. I
No,
don't
it
think it
does.
really
No, it
matters.
totally does for her career, her legacy, and also financially. If someone comes up that you can market that could beat her, she's going to make more money, and then it's just going
Yeah,
to add more lore
okay.
that she's going to be a two-time
I see what you're saying.
135-pound
I see what you're
champion.
saying. Put it
Like,
like that. But in all honesty, I also think that she could hold both belts, just dominate both divisions,
but she
and
won't make as
she'd
much
be
money.
fine. Yeah,
No, financially, I'm just saying, like, if she wants to look out for her best financial
yeah,
situation, that
yeah,
is the way to go.
yeah.
But you're right. If she just wants to just think about her legacy and being the most dominant champion of
Then
all
she keeps them
time, then
both.
absolutely keep them both. Fuck them.
The only super fight that's there right now is definitely her versus Whaley. That's the
Who?
only fight that's there. The
No, but
Chinese
that's
girl.
115 pounds. That's two
But
weight
yeah,
classes, the closest one. So
Whaley
you want
though.
Wei Li to go
Whaley
skip
could
the
come up.
125.
Yeah,
So she has to go past 125 and go to
and come to
135.
135. Yeah,
No, they wouldn't do that.
Dana
There's
White
no
said it. That's what he said last night. He said that's the only fight there
there's
is.
yeah, and they're not going to make it. She wouldn't make it. She is only beating Joanna Jędrzejczyk. She
Yeah.
has to clear out her own division before she can, because the next logical fight for her then would be to defeat Shevchenko at 125 pounds. If she could do that in a dominating fashion, then yeah, um you go fight Amanda Nunes. But otherwise, if you don't even know if you can beat the baddest person at 125 pounds, you want her to then jump up and now take on the baddest 135er and 145er?
Yeah.
No, if I was
Yeah.
Wade Lee's management team, I'd be like, we are not accepting that. We are not accepting that.
I mean, you think Rose has a chance?
No, because Rose, same thing. She would have to go to 125 and also,
So that's what I
beat a
mean.
couple people.
It
Yeah,
doesn't.
there's nobody
So there's
besides
no one.
Shevchenko. It's
There's no one.
Shevchenko
It's
or
already
bust.
gotten her ass, and she's already gotten her ass kicked. So there's
Right,
no
but-
one there.
But now let's see her with
Even for
being a
Shevchenko,
champion.
why would Shevchenko want to risk losing when she's dominating that division? There's no
You're right.
sense.
You're right.
makes no-
There's only two reasons you
Financial
do it.
gain, it makes sense.
Yes,
what
financial
you
gain.
want.
And if you think you can beat her, because you got to think, when she lost to Amanda Nunes was the first time she was training to be a champion, right?
Right.
Now she has been the champion. She had several camps fighting as a champion, going through a much more rigorous training camp with better equipment and facilities at your disposal that, maybe she can compete with Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
It's something I would like to see the rematch.
Yeah. It might even. It might not be something you like. It might be the only fucking match they can even put together. So I mean, you might get.
Then it's a win-win, man.
Who
It's
knows,
there.
man? I think it's. I think it's actually kind of a fucked up situation. In all honesty, I mean, how is it that we are the UFC, supposed to be home of the baddest bitches around, and yet we only have one in the stable?
Well,
I mean, I'm just saying, we at least used to have 3 or 4 at all times. I mean,
Yeah,
back in the day, it was always.
But
Ronda
remember when it was.
Rousey
But remember when it
and-
was Anderson Silva, and that was the baddest dude around.
Yeah, you're right.
For a long time, it was him, and
You're
before
right.
that, it was George St. Pierre,
But-
and then it's John Jones.
I know, but you
Next
gotta
is
remember,
Francis Ngannou.
But that was also back then. That's the issue I'm having. Is we're here where we're supposed to have developed people at all times.
Right, but the women's is basically where the women's
the
divisions
men's-
are where the men's used to
were
be when
then.
there was just like the
No,
guy.
that does make sense. That does make sense.
Yeah, it's
But
just
we'll see what happens, man. It's kind of a bummer, honestly, because I would really like to see someone like I would like to see Amanda Nunes in a real badass slug match where like they're both bloody and she's fighting for fucking her life.
Yeah, well, we'd like to see that, right? But who can do that? There's no one
I don't
really
know.
out there right now.
Problem with Cyborg was
let's
supposed to
just- Yeah, but she's gone. She's over at
She's
Bellator
fine.
now. Forget about her. All we can hope is that the Invicta Fighting Championships can start churning out some real talent, because that's where
Okay.
all the young up-and-coming women fighters are coming from. We just need them to start really producing. But you know what? They're probably not even holding any fights right now during this time, which is a huge bummer.
I don't
It's
think
going to slow that
Invicta-
division down.
UFC is the only one up because Bellator is not even up and running right now, correct?
Yeah, I don't believe it is.
So, all right. Well, very good. Thank you guys for listening once again. We have a great little card coming up here, though, next Saturday. So we will be back with you guys on Wednesday night with a new show. So Ty and I need to do some setting up. So we're going to take a night off from you guys, and we will be back. And
Yeah, it should
have it
be
live
out
for you.
Thursday early morning for you, and then really really late on Wednesday night,
yeah,
the
Whatever
usual
we'll-
time.
Exactly. I'll try to get it up there for you guys. A couple things I did want to say. Hey guys, if you're watching us, please go add us on Instagram. It will give you all the latest updates, as well as we'll be posting news stories on there and so far whatnot.
Yep,
Make it
and
a
we'll
little
also
more-
be posting our Verdict MMA. So basically, it's an app where you can guess what round person's going to win, how they're going to win it, and we'll be posting how we did on that app on our Instagram as well.
Yep, very good. All right, guys, thank you very much. We will be back with you in a couple nights. Peace
All right,
out.
peace.